With that, everyone, hello and happy St. Patty's Day, and welcome to the virtual Sunday service for the Journey Within Spiritualist Church. I'm Reverend Annette Hack from the Journey Within, and I'll be hosting today's service. It is truly with great joy and honor to welcome our guest today, Minister Colin Bates. He is a mediumship tutor, and a course organizer of the Arthur Findlay College. He's a registered spiritualist healer, public demonstrator of mediumship, teacher and lecturer of mediumistic and spiritual development for beginners through advanced students. Colin Bates is also a minister of the Spiritual National Union. It is our pleasure and my pleasure to welcome David to our service today. David, Colin, David must be thinking about us.
David's not here. David's working away. He's at the college, so it's just me today. But he sends his love to everyone. So honoured to be here as always to share this time of the heart.
Thank you. We begin our service with spiritual healing that is conducted virtually. Now, as our healers are with us today, they will be providing the healing. Now, if you would like to request healing for someone, please type their first name and their first initial of their last name in the chat box, and only the last initial due to confidentiality. Now, if you wish, you may also add the names of your pets, the planets, or global circumstances. We'll open with a prayer, followed by a period of quiet meditation. If you'd like to participate in the healing, please quiet yourself, focus on your breathing, and as you inhale, feel yourself boosting your own immune system and getting the inner healer within and working with it. Please join me in prayer. Divine Spirit, as we gather together in this space, may we all be a conduit of healing for all those that are in need, whether they be young, they're old, they're adults, they're children, with pets, all of humanity, from one soul to another. Shining that healing light so brightly, it touches those that are alone and have no one to be with them, or for those that need care, and also for our Mother Earth, for that needs care as well, for those war-torn countries, and also those going through those natural disasters, whether it be those tornadoes or hurricanes or fires or whatever the circumstances may be. And also we send healing physically, emotionally, and spiritually to touch those souls. And remember, we're not alone sending the healing. We're working with the ministry of angels, helping to grow and be and blend that divine spirit's healing with all, making it a kinder world, a kinder nation, making the world a softer and better place to be in. For there is no God, there is no place that God is not. So we are together sending healing as one. Amen. As we come to the end of the healing portion of our service, may we pray for special healing for those that have been written, for the names that have been written in the chat box, as well as those throughout this world that are experiencing the distress, the illnesses, the hunger, the loneliness and fear at this time, with so much going on in the world. We ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from our mind and body and to restore us to perfect health. We ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and we will do our part, but may we be reminded that healing is there merely for the asking and accepting the strength and presence of God, for we place our trust in the divine spirit. Amen. I wanted to share with you that the instrumental that you just heard for the meditation was taken from Minister Colin's website, www.mediumcolinbates.com. The download is called Self-Empowerment, and it has a beautiful, heartfelt self-empowerment meditation as well as the instrumental song called Inner Peace. And if you didn't catch the website, I'll place it in the chat box, or else you can go to info@journeywithin.org for that information. If you would like to request healing for anyone during the course of the week, please email or call the church with their names, and we will forward them to the healers who will be praying for them for the weeks and the days and the months to come. I'd like to make a special thank you to the healers that are with us. Please know you are greatly appreciated for your time and for providing the healing. Welcome again, everyone. I'm Minister Annette Hack from the Journey Within, hosting today's service. And we're here today with Minister Colin Bates. We'll open with this song, or open the service with a song and prayer. And I'd like to invite Colin to lead us in the opening prayer.
Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It is always such an absolute joy to share this time of the heart, this time of the Spirit. And so as we open our service in the continuation of prayer within the healing, I'd like to start with the prayer for St. Patrick's Day. So let us stay together and come together within this wonderful moment of prayerfulness. And we ask, may the strength of God pilot us. May the wisdom of God instruct us. May the hand of God protect us. May the word of God direct us. May thy salvation, O Lord, always be ours this day and forevermore. For indeed we rest within the heart of God, and we are loved by a power that truly has no beginning and no end, and simply is a part of everything we perceive of this life, of this world, and indeed of the worlds beyond. And as we open our hearts in the continuation of prayer within the healing, Divine Spirit, be with us, join with us, surround us with your love, your light, and your upliftment. May our love radiate in the power of prayer. May it go forward upon the wings of love to touch all those in need, not only within our world, but indeed the worlds beyond. As we rest within thy love, may we think of those we know and love within the world of the Spirit. May they draw ever close and ever near with the continuation of their presence. Although no longer of this physical life, they are still a part of you and I, and will remain forever so, a part of the heart of each and everyone's journey who reside within this life. We send our thoughts of love and prayer to the animal kingdom, for the world itself, and we pray eternally for peace, perfect peace, within the hearts of all nations, within all peoples. May they come to realize that we are indeed brothers and sisters under the great mystery of all life, and that regardless of color, creed, or belief, we are created of that one source, which is eternal love. Be with us today in this celebration of life, for indeed there is no death, only one great continuation from life unto life. Amen.
I invite Minister Colin to provide the address.
My goodness, how wonderful it is to share this time of the heart, this time of the Spirit. And as I was just listening to those wonderful words, stand in the light to be seen as we are. What wonderful words of inspiration. What wonderful words of the purity of the Spirit, but also of the strength of the Spirit. For truly we do not stand alone within this life and within this world. We may go through certain times and experiences when we feel that we are isolated and individually within our difficulties. But truly, we are never alone, for you cannot be where God is not. For the essence and the presence of the eternal power resides within the very breath in which we breathe. We live and have our very being within this physical world, which is our place of belonging for this time, but we know that we are so much more. And when I hear such words of beauty within a song that speak of the heart, that speak of bringing forth our own truth, our own light, and embracing the universal oneness of who we are, we begin to realize that we are not only part of each other, but we are creating this incredible strength of unity, that we are radiating strength, we are radiating light and love. Through the power of prayer, we know that we can be everywhere at once. We know through science that time and distance does not exist, that we live in this one moment of non-local reality, and that the power of thoughts can unite each one of us simultaneously. So not only are we together in celebrating life eternal today, but we are also radiating powers of peace, of love, of hope, and above all of light, all which are the great compassions of love itself and the power of the God force. For we do not stand alone. It is only the physical mind that at times takes us from the reality of the true eternal power of you and I, and what is happening within the world, and how we are also affected by it, not just our own personal situations, but also as the natural power of the empath by the world itself. So how wonderful to be reminded today of God's love, but also to be reminded that the heart is the power of all life, and anything that is of the spirit will always manifest first within the power of the heart. For it is through the power of the heart that we radiate love, that we create compassion and understanding for the needs of all those that are not only connected to us, but globally and also within the spirit world. For that is the power to heal. That is the power to calm, to console, and to renew our faith within life itself. And so always remember that there is a part of you and I that is eternal, indestructible, and is never dimmed or diminished by anything of this life. For it is the spark of God's love. It is the power that resides within you and I that is the eternal power that is now and forevermore not only a part of God's love, but is immersed within the power of the Spirit. For truly, when we open our hearts and when we embrace the power of prayer, we embrace the essence of God, which is omnipresent, which is everywhere. And at the heart of God's love, you will find the spirit world. Those who watch over us, those who bring their eternal blessings to those who are alone and to those who are seeking to find strength within life. It's all there, you see, within you and I, and within the heart itself. So never underestimate the power of thought, the power of prayer, and above all, the power of healing to lift the hearts of those who are in need, to surround the situations of life with this incredible support. For the soul of life will always accept love. The spirit itself is an eternal power which is directly linked to God's love. And so everything is interconnected together. And isn't that wonderful to know that the mind, the physical mind and aspect of this life is the power of this world because we reside within it. But there is a part of you and I that has been before, will continue to exist and will be again. For it is within these soul experiences that we truly come into times of light. We come into times of knowledge. And we also come into times of greater awareness of those wonderful people within the spirit world that know and love us. The great awakening to the spirit world comes to each one of us at different times within our lives, whether it is that we suffer personal loss, whether it is that we are seeking to know that those who have gone before us are still with us, or whether it is that something happens to us individually that then brings these thoughts of eternity to the surface, you see. But there is always that essence that takes our attention and speaks to us and says, you and I are not just this physical moment of life, that we are actually so much more, that all of creation is created from that one source, that great mystery of all life that has many names, has many faces, but each one leads to that wonderful golden truth. And that is that you and I are created of the same power, that you and I carry the seeds of destiny of this world and of the universe together. And that wherever we are within this world, it is the power of the heart that unites us together. And when we stand within the strength of our belief, our love, our truth, we are immovable. And it is the eternal power that shines from you and I, for there is such an outpouring of love and of truth that we begin to not only embrace God's love, but we begin to know the personality and the facets, which are many, of that eternal power. Because we are all seeking and searching within our individual journeys. We are all embracing within our own individuality, our understanding of the world, our place within it, and our connection and love that is of the Spirit. As spiritualists, we not only acknowledge the eternal power of life, we acknowledge the eternal power of God's love upon earth, and the ministry of angels, which can be directly connected to the spirit world, but is also equally to do with this life and this world. For the ministry of the people is really the fundamental love of the world and the universe itself. And so each one of us minister to the people in our own individual way. And it is often by thought, by action, by speaking, and by deed that our light is known and is brought forward unto this world. For the ancient teachings of the Spirit was always an oral tradition. It was always spoken, never written. And so it is often within those words of inspiration, when we are speaking together, when we are supporting each other, when we are offering thanks and thoughts of healing, that we are creating God's love on earth. And we are becoming the experience, which means the transformational power of God is the power of you and I. You could not be more connected to it, because it is that eternal spark, it is the essence of life itself that is imbued by God's love. And it is only within those moments of life when the physical mind becomes so present that it is all we can experience. But when we seek and we find and we begin to embrace that silence within, when we seek to be embraced by the heart, when we begin to realize that this physical existence is only but a small part, and that we are the living spirit, that the essence and presence of eternity resides within you and I, and that it is a place of refuge in this world in which we live. It is the calmness that is often within the storm of life. It is that harbor, that place of renewal, So when we are faced with the turmoil of life, as we often are, remember not only how much you are loved, for indeed you are, we are, but also remember how we are the strength for each other. And that strength is universal. And that we have but to find that stillness within, or to listen to that which is calling us to the quiet. Be it of the earth, be it of the sea, be it of the sky, be it the God of the granite and the rose, the soul of the sparrow and the bee. The mighty tide of being flows through all creation, Lord, to thee. It is everything. It is everything that we perceive. But because we are all within our own stages of awakening, we come into the times of our own realization and seeking. But all of mankind are a part of that same process. Compassion, which is one of the great guiding forces of God's love, is the ability to know all, to love all, and to understand all. And sometimes it is through compassion, which at times is the hardest embracing within the heart, to forgive another, to forgive ourselves, but also to bring peace into the hearts of those who are troubled and who are set upon breaking peace and creating within this world a world that is destructive, when in fact truly the world is one of peace and is always beautiful. Sometimes we have to find those moments of beauty, but they do indeed exist. As we are coming into the time of the spring, it is a time of light. It is a time of renewal. It is a time of remembering that, yes, everything may go quiet for the winter, but my goodness, everything begins to know that as the year turns, as the world holds its breath on the 21st of December, and that as the world breathes out, it begins to renew itself. Maybe today is our day of renewal. Maybe today is a day of standing up, believing in ourselves, embracing our own light, and celebrating that you and I are connected by this infinite power of all love. And that when we embrace the simplicity of love, we begin to become it. We begin to radiate it unto this world, you see, as the pathway of the sensitive that all of us walk. We are so influenced by the world itself, as well as those who come into the orbit of our lives. And so when we are touched by the world, just allow yourselves to move into the compassion and to spread that compassion and to say, I may not understand you, but I love you. And that it is my eternal love which connects to the power of all life, that wishes you well, that shares of my light, which is the property of no one and the birthright of everyone. For indeed, within that single thought of compassion, we surround our world with love. We surround our world with healing. And we create hope into the hearts of those who have just lost their way a little bit and are seeking to find their way back to their place of belonging. For you and I are the ministers of this world, and often we are the signposts for those who are seeking to find, to remember that they are loved. For all are loved. No one is lost. No one is left. For you cannot be where God is not. For it is the eternal power of everything we perceive unto this life and everything that is created. And within the simple act of prayer, of acknowledging through the heart our love, we are becoming part of the great miracle of all life. For indeed we are. But always remember, you are the magic that creates the miracle. For there is a magic within the heart. There is a lightness within the soul that will always lead us and show us that way home. I'm often reminded of a very old practice, and that is that we shine a light within a window. And when we shine that light, it is the beacon for all those to know their place of belonging and to find their way home. Let our hearts be that beacon. Let us stand tall within our light. Stand in the light to be seen for who we are. Children of God, upon a great and vast journey that has no beginning and no end, and simply is at the heart of all things. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Colin, for those wonderful, heartfelt thoughts and loving words. Thank you. Have to take a breath. It was wonderful. It is now time for announcements and upcoming classes and events. You'll see a box on the screen for donations. It says Journey Within donations. We appreciate any donations at this time. If you'd like to donate, you can scan the box with a smartphone or an iPad, or donate through our website as well, or you're welcome to send a check. We're grateful for all donations. Please note, if you are not a member, please check our website under announcements in inclement weather. That's to see if our in-person Sunday morning services is still being held. Now, all members do receive an email with such announcements. So, hey, consider becoming a member and get your email. It's very easy. You can scan also on the Journey Within membership box that you see on the screen, and you can start like I said, become a member of mediumship, become a member of the Journey Within. I'll get that right, I promise. Just scan on there and let it begin. Now, whether you're a member or not, you're welcome to the in-person services. And we have fellowship after the service every week, and it's with coffee and tea and small desserts like bagels and donuts and such things, and the friendship as well. On Saturday, March 30th, the National Spiritual Association of Churches is presenting a celebration of the advent of modern spiritualism. They're calling it Hydesville Day, and it'll be presented through Zoom. And there'll be different representatives from several churches in this event. And if you'd like the flyer with the times and the link, email the church at info@journeywithin.org. I've already placed that in there, the info@journeywithin.org, but I'll do that again in case you'd like to get a flyer for that. A few other announcements or upcoming events. The first and third Wednesday of the month, there's a community meditation with Eugenia Bushman, and it's coming up this Wednesday, March 20th. We'd love to have you join us. On April 1st, we have the Power of Prayer class series with Judith Seaman. And also there's another class called Love, Intention, and Connection, the Compassionate Medium with Lori Sheridan. April 2nd through the 4th is Invoking and Maintaining the Power of Mediumship with Tony Stockwell. April 5th, we have Presenting the Message with Christine Morgan. April 20th, we have Experiencing Your Personal Intuition with Kevin Tedeschi. April 21st and 22nd, there's Practical Mediumship Intensive Workshop with Paul Jacobs. And April 27th, Delivering Meaningful Messages from Spirit with Connie Fusella. Now, in person at the Journey Within in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey, on the first and third Sundays of each month, there is the mediumship development classes for all levels with Pastor Joe and guest tutors. And guess what? Today on March 17th, St. Patty's Day, there's a class at noon and it's $20. April 14th, in person at 12 p.m., is demonstration mediumship with Pastor Joe, Elizabeth Fracolosi, and Don Pfeiffer. We are constantly updating the website with new classes and events, so please check there for the most updated information. We'd really love to have you join us. We move into our demonstration of mediumship. As a spiritualist church, we believe in the continuity of life. And as the medium brings forth a body of evidence of the deceased loved ones, and you can take a 90% to 100% what has been said in the exact way that the medium said it, rather than how you want to kind of make it fit, please raise your little digital hand. Now you'll find that located at the bottom of the screen, sometimes under reactions. Would a couple folks do that for me just to make sure we're in sync? Great, thanks so much. You can go ahead and lower them now. It definitely works. Thanks. There we go. All right. If you can take the first few pieces of evidence, but you cannot take the next piece of evidence, we do ask you to lower your hand so we may find our recipient as quickly as possible. Because if several people can take the information, it's up to the medium to discern the right recipient. Now, if you're invited to speak but cannot unmute or are having difficulty, please type me in the chat box. I will be reviewing that as well. Thank you. We'll now listen to a song and say a prayer in preparation for the demonstration. You're welcome to join me in the prayer. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I'm 1,000 winds that blow, I'm the diamond glints on snow. I'm the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I'm the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft star that shines at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry. I am not there. I did not die. I invite Minister Colin to offer demonstration of mediumship. Colin?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I've got like 100 voices at once, so let's just see where we go to today. And there's two major contacts here. The first one, I have to go with the first one that I was aware of as I was starting to listen to the music here. So please, everybody, do listen here. Somebody's been researching their family tree. I have the voice of a lady here, and she kept speaking to me to do with either working in a hospice or a nursing home, something like that. But I know that perhaps this goes back a little bit within the family here, because all she kept saying was somebody's got to look after these boys. So it may be going back to the 80s or even to the 90s here. So she would have done a lot of work perhaps with AIDS patients of around the 80s and the 90s and would have been known for that in some way. There's definitely a connection to New York, or somebody knows of New York as well, but it's this family tree that I'm working with here at the moment. And there's definitely something to do with the name of Elizabeth, because that seemed to be called here within some way. So does anybody connect to a lady who would have been very strong with either hospice work or hospital work around the 90s or the 2000s? Because that was really when the that there was a lot of people passing to the spirit and
I have
connections to New York.
2 hands.
2 hands. Can I see the hands or hear the voice, please? Because I know it's right.
Frederick and Teresa. Here's Frederick.
Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Oh, hi there. How much of this can you understand, please?
Doing family tree work, a
Yeah.
person in the family whose very survival was based on working in a hospital. However, it is not pertaining to the 80s and 90s. And
Okay,
okay,
right.
but
So not the 80s and the
but
90s.
this is it's a person. It has to do with the Holocaust and the Second World War. That
Aha.
working in a hospital was how she survived.
Okay, then this is possible then, because it all seems to come together here within some way. Can I just listen to the next voice, and what of that you understand, please?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi. I worked in Manhattan, New York in the 1980s in a ward which was my boys all were HIV.
That's it, my boys, because I kept hearing my boys.
Oh, you're
Okay.
giving me
So there
goosebumps.
is a lady that would connect to you that would know of this information,
Oh, absolutely.
because it's the lady that is connecting. I may pop back to my first recipient, Frederick, bless you, but all she kept saying was, my boys, somebody's got to look after my boys. And you would understand that piece of information. Is that right?
Absolutely. It was
And
one
I
of
know
the
that there's
brothers.
connections there to do with New York, because I could feel it there within some way. And if I'm also correct, my dear one, there's been something to do with the writing of a story. Is that right? The writing of a story of around that time.
Well, there were several things written
Yes.
in
Okay.
support.
In support of that time,
Yes.
because I'm aware of that. Can I also say, is your mother in the spirit world?
Yes.
Because I've got mother here, but then I've also got a lady who would have been a great friend of yours around that time. Does that also make sense?
That would be my aunt who was a nurse.
Right, that's it. Because I know that I've got mother, and I know, but there would have been a very good friendship with your aunt, I have to say,
Yes.
because she's a darling. She is. Your mother's a bit strong, I have to say. No one
She
messes with
was.
mama, is what I want to say to you where your mother's concerned here. But this sympathy here comes very much to do with your aunt, I have to say. And so she would have a knowledge and an understanding of the work that you did. But it's the boys who are here. It's the boys who are here that want to say thank you. You know, something to do with an Elizabeth, because that name seems to be called in some way. And you've definitely connected to a David. You've definitely connected to a David. Is that right also?
Oh, there were so many.
Okay, well, the name of David seems to come here, and also it's just this sense of memory, this sense of thank you, and this sense of love, and this sense of looking after here. And I know that I need to bring greetings from your mother. You would have been very strongly connected to your mother, and you would have helped her in some way before she took a transition to the spirit world. Is that right?
Yes.
And it would have been a very difficult time. It would have been a very difficult time, because she just seems to make me aware here that it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
No.
You understand that, and it was quite a drawn out process.
Yes.
And there was either something with her mind, something
Yes.
with her mind, or she couldn't string her words together. She couldn't think properly, she couldn't see properly, and it really just was very, very difficult. And in some way you had to step in, you had to take charge, and it wasn't easy, I just have to say. And there would have been things that she didn't agree with, because she didn't quite really understand things, and she just says, thank you, thank you, thank you for helping to put things right. Will you accept that?
I will accept it 100%.
Good, because I also have to bring here greetings from your aunt. And I have to say, your aunt was a force to be reckoned with, because immediately here she has a spring in a step, she has a smile in her face, and she just says, nobody messes with my baby. So I know you've been going through a period where you've had to stand up a little bit for yourself. Do you recognize that?
I do, yes.
And you've had to be speaking your truth,
Yes.
because I just feel that I'm with you every step of the way. And she puts her arms in yours because, my goodness, have you been walking through memory lane because you've been seeing old streets, old places, discussing things with old friends, and you no longer visit the places that you once visited. Is that right?
Correct.
Because you're either not there or you're in a different location to where you once were.
Different location.
That's it. Because I just feel that we are just gathering here, and it's like such a celebration. I've got the launching of balloons in memory, you see,
Oh,
and just
okay.
watching them go into the distance to heaven, to remember all those who are no longer here, but the strength of those who gave their voice and gave their strength. And I just kept hearing, for the boys, my boys. And then when
Oh,
you
they
said,
are my boys.
they are
They
your
are my
boys, my
boys.
darling, and they will eternally be a part of you and I, and really of the journey. Your life's been going through a great time of sorting things out. I do feel that, because
Yes,
it's as if I'm sifting through memories and pieces of paper and all sorts of things.
absolutely.
And I just want you to know that we're here and we're with you. Your grandma's here. She's got flowery hands and she's just making the things, either with the dough or with those different things. And she says, we're all here and we're all very much there supporting you. And there's just such a great love between your dear self and your mother. Will you accept that?
I will
Because I just
accept
seem to
it.
feel that. I could be with you all day, but I know I have to leave. But from the boys, we love you. We always did. You gave us so much, and we will never forget.
Oh, thank you so much. That touches my heart.
And the love that they remember is to lift your heart at this time. I hope that makes sense,
Oh, it does. It does.
because
Thank
I
you
can
so much,
feel it.
Colin.
My second communication here, I was very much aware of a lady just a little bit earlier, and I know she's still here. And she had the most lovely long hair, and the hair had to be cut because of either going through a medical condition towards the end of her life. But when she was well and she was herself, she had the most wonderful long hair, and it was the long hair that you loved and that you remembered here. There is a Native American connection here within some way, and there's something to do with a blessing. So there was a blessing of some kind, and that may well have been a Native American blessing as well. But I know that there was a blessing ceremony involved with your love or with your relationship. But really, she's a darling who understands this information.
Oh, here we go. We
Yeah.
have two hands again. Carice and three. Carice, Sheila, and Mary.
Okay, because what is very significant here is the blessing ceremony. So you would have to know about something to do with that. I'm not sure if it was a Lakota blessing, because I felt that word came at some point here. You've got silver and turquoise jewelry, who I also want to speak to, but this cutting of the hair is very significant, because I know that my dear communicator here went through a very difficult time, and there would have been problems of the mind before she passed. I do feel that. Am I still with all three of you?
We changed the three, but there's still three. Oshada came and Sheila and Carice.
Okay, so all of you understand this information, and also as well, do you understand the name of Jan or Janet, and also the name of Elizabeth seem to come very much around there at this time. I do feel this is very much a love link, and the blessing was something that either cemented love or helped to really just build the sense of relationship, because that's what I'm aware of. And the buying of something silver with turquoise in it. Am I still with everybody?
Just two now. Carice and Oshada.
Okay, can I hear your voices, please?
Here's Carice.
Carice?
Carice, you have to unmute.
You have to unmute. Let me hear your voice.
There you go.
Hi, thank you.
How much of this can you understand?
Um, almost all of it. Have American Indian um, relatives
Okay.
or heritage, and my mother left me a lot of her American Indian jewelry.
Okay, then that's fine. And Oshada, how much of this can you understand, my dear one?
I can take it all.
You can take it all. And if I just go back to the first person for a minute, this great significance of the cutting of the hair.
Yes,
Yes, she did have to get the haircut.
You can understand that. And Oshada, can you understand that too?
yes,
Okay. Well, it may be that I've got two links here, so I'll work with both in the way that that comes here. Because if I just speak to Oshada first, you understand this blessing ceremony.
yes,
Is that right?
yes,
Because I feel that that's really important here to my contact. And if I'm also right, um, was there problems before the passing where she could not really gather her thoughts together properly?
absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. Because I really do feel that, although you're very, very faint here, she's really is very, very strong. And I know that this is either a partnership and this is to do with love. Is that correct?
Yes, yes,
Okay. And that's fine. I do know something to do with Oshada, but I don't believe I've ever said any of this information, just to make that very, very clear to everyone. And am I also right? Did my dear lovely lady, was she also interested in herbs and remedies, or is that you?
Yes,
Right, because I also feel something to do with that. And there has to be something bought either for birthdays or anniversaries that's silver and turquoise. Do you have that?
yes,
And would you also understand about at the moment of passing or near to passing, the holding of hands and the making of promises?
yes,
That's it. That's it. That's lovely. Because I just really feel here. And if I'm also correct, is there something to do with this time of year where there is an anniversary of some kind?
yes,
Because there's something to do with an anniversary here, because I can feel it. And I have to say, my lady has a very strong personality. She would always stand up. She would speak for those who have no voice, and she would speak her truth. Is that right?
oh, definitely.
Because I just feel as if she's coming closer to me here and she's saying, get it right, get it right. And I feel that she would be a little bit like that. She is delighted you are telling your story. She's delighted you are telling your story, and she could not be more proud of you. Do you understand? Do you have a special blanket? Is there something to do with a blanket of some kind that has significance for you or for her?
yes,
Good, because she just brings that and she puts it around your shoulders and she says, I keep telling you, look after yourself, take care of yourself, and you don't always listen to your own medicine.
yes.
Yes. Well, will you accept that, please, and the eternal love that is that is there? And can I just go back to the first person here just for a few moments? Are you still there?
Kashada, she came off. Are you back there?
Because it's her mother.
Ugh,
Carice?
can't I-
The first lady who spoke, Carice is her name.
Yes.
Yes. Are you here? I'm sorry, I've got my eyes shut.
Carice, can you talk? You're unmuted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Go
Are
ahead.
are you here?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Because I believe I have your mother here. And
Yes,
I just want to say that as I am very much aware of her presence, she is solid in life. Strange thing to say about someone, but you would understand how your mother was a lady of strength. Is that right?
absolutely.
Yes, because she's really coming forward here in great strength, and she was very proud of her hair.
Yes,
and there would have been something where it had to be cut. Is that also right?
Yes.
Because she's here, and my goodness, is she a presence, because she says, don't you finish yet, don't you finish yet until I've spoken to my baby. You would understand how you didn't always fully understand your mother.
Yes.
Yes, but you also understand that towards this latter part of her life, you became very close, and you moved into a time of greater understanding,
Yes.
because it is so important to her that there was this greater understanding of the heart between the two of you. She's very, very mediumistic, your mother, because she's got this energy that just seems to bring truths forward. So she would also have been known as the storyteller within her life. Is that right?
Absolutely.
And also very much there within the family, because is your father in heaven as well?
Yes.
Because he's here, and he's not a great communicator, but I know that I feel very much his presence. And you would understand where there were issues of some kind within the family. Is that right?
Multiple.
Yes, because he's just said here, pass on his blessing, and just to say he's worked through everything into a time of greater peace. And I need to give you here the eagle. I need to give you the eagle soars on high and can see everything. And just to confirm to you that you're seeing situations in exactly the right way, follow your instinct because it's right for you. I know that you have, and you have said you have pieces of jewelry that were connected to your mother or to the family. There's something to do with you going through a box quite recently. Is that right?
Yeah, probably.
Well, it's like a jewelry box, but it doesn't look like a fancy jewelry box. It just seems to be something where there are a lot of different things from different people.
Yes.
And I want to just go through it, and I want to look at different things, and I want to remember these different things. Because if I'm also correct, did you move around a great deal when you were younger?
Yes.
Because one of your greatest searchings within your life is to find your place of belonging. And I just want you to know that you're finding it now.
Yes. Thank you.
Will you accept that? That
Yes.
although there are still things moving around you, that you are embracing your place of belonging. And your mother's voice, she just says, please, please just say thank you, thank you, thank you for understanding me and for helping me. Will you accept that?
Yes. Thank you.
Because I know that it wasn't easy. And as I look at the book of life, it turns a page into a new chapter, a new opportunity, and a new beginning, and that's you. Will you accept that?
Thank you.
All right, my darlings, I have to finish now. Take all their love.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I wouldn't deny your mother. She'd come and haunt me.
This,
Beautiful.
this is wonderful. Thank you so much. This concludes the demonstration of spirit communication. I thank you all for attending the service, and a special thank you to Minister Colin Bates for being with us today. We end the service with prayer and song. I invite Colin to lead us in the closing prayer.
As we embrace the presence and the energy that we have created of love today, may it travel forth upon the wings of prayer. May it uplift, may it strengthen, may it renew hearts, and may all know indeed throughout our world that we are loved. Till we meet once again, keep us ever safe within that eternal love which is yours. Amen.
May you all have a wonderful week. Thanks for being here.